Here's my belt line. This is the equator of my world here. I'm not gonna go this way or that way. I'm just gonna turn my hips right around that belt line, right? And that's what also keeps my spine down. I think that's the key.
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa.
Dead straight.
How good was that game? I know, it's so money, isn't it?
That's not bad, dude.
So, question. Why don't we shoot 68 all the time? That's a...
It's a lot of... the Arizona tournament was just clear and evident.
Tell me, like what? Yeah, tell me.
The thing I need most...
Yeah.
I don't trust... Like, so
what's going to happen?
The Arizona course is one of those courses where if you miss, you're in the shit.
Yeah, you're in the stuff,
so,
yeah.
You know, and I would be trying to play one shot, but I'd be like too worried about the miss, and it's like, so I try to miss one way or the other, and like the hips would stop. I need to eat, like the thing I need to get rid of is it's killer.
Where you feel like the hips rotate all the way through, the hands come in late.
Yeah, it's like the shot that kills me is the one where it's like, okay, I gotta start it a little left and like just kind of keep it straight and hold it off a little bit. And it's like, oh, don't go right. And it's like you can feel the...
Yeah, and it just comes from that separation of hips and hands?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Man, there's no separation between hips and hands over there. Those were some of the best swings I've seen you make right there, those last three. God. All right. Let's do it today, buddy, okay?
Yeah.
So what are you going to feel like? What we got to get a rehearsal. That we have to find something that really helps you feel like you sync it up. Now for me, can I tell you what helps me? I'm just going to give you a couple things right off the start here. Gabe, come on over here. Actually, we get Gabe over here so we can see this. So what I feel, this is the same thing I was having Matt do back here. This is a wall right here.
Yeah.
Okay, imaginary wall right on the instep of my left foot. Now, ideally, everything needs to be hitting into that wall. Okay. Now, when your first move happens from the top of the swing, you want to push from more inside the right foot to prevent your hips from getting closer to the golf ball. Remember, we've in the past let your hips go as long as they don't do what? Move out towards the ball, because then they get in the way of your hands, and then your hands have to move. Absolutely. So I have no problem fully, you've hit it your best actually, allowing your hips to completely outrace it.
Yeah.
I used to work with Bo Hostler, who he was successful doing the same thing. We used to keep, as long as the hips stayed back, you could fully accelerate the hips and you don't have to stall them out because you have space to get your hands back through. Now, when you decrease that space and the hands have to then move in different directions, that's when you start hitting, squirrely shots. A quick pull can happen out of nowhere, that weak, glancy cut out of nowhere. Right, so is that kind of hitting home,
Yeah.
And I know, because there's nothing worse than you're sitting there trying to tip one to a back right pin, aiming in the middle of the green, wind's coming out of the right, and all of a sudden it starts like 10 left and just goes another. Yeah, okay. So constant rotation will stabilize the club face for you. You trying to hold your hips back and accelerate your arms, for you, that works for some, okay? I'm actually one of those guys that this works for all the time. I can feel like I'm going like this, and it just syncs it up. For you, I don't like that, because you've been for so long, just ripping through with those hips. It's actually one of your strengths. It's not a weakness. That's my whole point. It's not a weakness, it's a strength. Yeah. So let's highlight it. Make sure that your hips are just rotating more efficiently. And let's make sure your hand speed from the top of your swing is greater than that of your body's rotation. Okay, so if we have a rehearsal, let's go back to this wall, right? I started talking about the wall. The wall's a visual of kind of a finish line, right? So with wedges, for example, or lower irons, when I want to create angle of attack and I want to stay connected, I'm feeling my left pocket turning inside the wall, because forward momentum is naturally going to get my hips going that way. I don't want to slide, right? I want to rotate, but I want to drive the handle right into the imaginary nail that's in that wall right there. Simultaneously, watch. Boom. Boom. And then as I round that corner and this hip gets back to its deepest point, the shaft and the hands deliver the club at impact, right?
Yeah.
So for a driver, my rehearsal might be more like this. Like, feeling the club head and the shaft swing a little bit more and get up against the wall. For a wedge, my rehearsal might be a little more like this, right? More angle, because you can have it, right? And then as the longer irons get, as you get to like a 6-iron or up, I tend to find there's a breaking point there where I'm feeling the club swing more around me than I am just driving the handle through. Okay, so what I want you to do here is I want you to get your setup exactly how it is. I want you to make sure that you have the pressure points correct in your feet, meaning you have that inside of that right foot loaded because of that little hip bump. When I turn my chest back, because of the spine angle I was able to create from that hip bump, the pressure is going to load right in the inside of this right foot.
Yep.
Now what I want you to do from there is I want you, Gabe, go back behind him over there. I want you to rotate, push off the inside of that foot and never let that right hip get closer. Exactly. See how your hands would still have the space to get through right here?
Yeah.
That's your move.
Okay.
If you do that, you know what's cool about it? You can send these babies as fast as you want.
Okay.
And you know what's cool? That constant rotation is going to actually stabilize the club face. Here's the I think this is what's going on. I think you're trying to do the right thing by syncing your hands up.
Yeah.
But guess what's happening as a result? It's actually, you have a moment of stalling.
Yeah, it's almost like they're too slow.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
I've actually seen your hips a lot faster than this in the past,
Yeah.
and you hit it a lot better.
A lot better. Yeah.
It's just that it can't go up to the toes. It's got to work
Right.
heel to heel, okay?
Right.
Heel to heel. Let's see it. I want to see you really. I'm all about you just out racing the heck out of it, but I want to see in your mind your hands accelerate with you. I love that rehearsal for you. Inside the right foot with the butt of the club. Boom. Pushing from heel straight back. How good is that? Gosh, that's so nice right there. I'm even going to get that film because I want that as an example for my students. No, seriously, I'm not kidding. It's money. Do that again for me. Like really, really give me a sharp one here. So where you feel the butt of the club right to the inside of the right foot. Now push off that instep, keeping the hips back. There you go. There you go, Shane. So what that should allow you to do is it should allow you, when the hands are now swinging with you, for you to really stay swinging underneath you. And I would really bank on us having a good session right now, right away, with the fact that you're not going to
hit this like really slow.
Yeah, go for it, man. We're just going to go half pace over here. So the hands got going, hips still turned, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Shane, a good goal for us today. Hit the ball hard and not see one shot go left.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Not enough people do. Shane's been a student of mine for a while. He's just the man, great player. And not enough people do what Shane's doing right now. Taking a moment to slow it down and actually just process what it is that they're trying to actually feel. Typically people will take the thought, and even though the thought's correct, they try to put it into a big swing. That's why I was telling him, hey, I need a perfect rehearsal today. I need a perfect rehearsal. What's nice is he's taken it upon himself just to put a ball in front of him and still be able to make that rehearsal with a ball in front of him, which is really step 2 for many people. Step 1 would just be, he's advanced, so he's obviously moving ahead, but most people just need to have, it's almost like they have the time to talk themselves through what it is they're doing, right? So Shane's thoughts right now, nothing with the backswing, just turn, load into that right heel, push from the right heel to keep the hips back and make sure the hands are working with that motion, okay? Yeah, it's pretty, Shane. And my thoughts are, when we start accelerating and letting that all go, it's going to be very easy to see that the constant rotation is going to be what actually stabilizes your club face. Just no stalling of the hips at any point in your swing. We're just changing the direction at which they travel. I mean, that right there was just incredible, how good that was.
Yeah.
That's a lot of control right there to be able to do that, buddy. People have a really hard time taking slow swings. It's hard to be able to actually keep everything together when it's slower. Some would think, well, shouldn't it be the opposite? Should be.
Because they went to 10 in order.
Yeah, right? 'Cause
Like one of those for an entire hour lesson.
yeah, exactly. That's the one right there, right?
Yeah.
That was fantastic right there.
The ball flight's a lot nicer.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you feeling right now, buddy?
Just keeping like this part like rotating and then not letting this go like way out.
So you're feeling pressure from the inside of your foot, push your
Yeah.
hips open rather than, yeah.
Kind of like a shift.
Doesn't it feel like, let me tell you this is just kind of personal stuff. Inside of the foot, it almost feels like it's pushing the hips back that way. 45 degrees, right?
Yeah, it kind of does feel like you're
Going that way, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the weight transfer's happening, but it's not just that way towards Gabe, where then the hips stand up and go straight. It's this way with the pocket, but also that way with the weight, right? So it's
Right.
back into that heel, and that pulls everything through. It's money right there. I
Yeah.
love it. A couple of close-ups of this is really good. Yeah, definitely more sequence. Let's get a couple videos of that, see what it looks like. You guys are gonna love this one real quick. I'm sorry, I just gotta share it real quick. So, I get a text message from my boy. You know, I can go in to film the swing, right? Text pops up right at the same time. Says, yo, dude, I'm at Abandoned Dunes right now, hitting everything off the toe. Any thoughts? And I just wrote back, try hitting it off the heel.
Yeah. Try to shake it.
And that was about a couple minutes ago. And he just wrote me back, bro, you're a genius. I was trying to be a smartass, actually, to be honest with you. It wasn't, you know. He goes, how simple is that? I'm telling you, man. My biggest advice to people out there when they don't have the expert around to give them the exact thing, hey, you know what? You're hitting it right. Have you tried hitting it left?
Yeah, honestly.
Just saying. I love Gabe's laughing behind that camera over there. You know what I love about this golf swing right now, though? Here's something that you need to take away from what you're doing right now. The mistake people make, and this is something that you're not going to do today, because I know you could. The rhythm at which you're doing that backswing, that's only like a mile per hour or two slower than I actually want you going in your real swing, right?
Yeah.
So my whole point to you is do that and then hit the gas, because one thing that we see in this swing right away, watch how solid the club is at the top. You don't get, like, see how it doesn't drop?
Yeah.
So Shane in the past has had, when he has that separation between hips and hands, he gets a lot of, the club goes that way. And then it would go around, and that's dangerous, right? But what's nice is when you have a good rhythm, everything gets up there together, and then it just works right down on the same exact path.
Yeah.
It works a little underneath, which is ideal, but it doesn't go actually behind your body, right? So I think that's important right there. You work a rehearsal, then you work a drill. The drill should be done with a really smooth backswing. It really should, because that gives you a chance to actually feel what it's like to use your body to move your hands up to the top. From there, you actually almost have a chance to actually think about what it is you're trying to do, right? Give yourself a moment. The bang bang swings are the ones that just happen all the time and give people no chance to get things accomplished. So I really like that. So do the same thing now, dude. Hit the gas a little bit.
Okay.
Go up there, still patient backswing, fire everything. So it's okay, because you know what? That ball obviously overdrew. Now, we got to think about, like, what was the difference in the feeling between what you just had on that one and the ones you had before? What you did wrong there, because it doesn't change what we have to do right. Let's keep our butt back.
Okay.
Let's accelerate our arms and hands. But I want you actually to accelerate your hips to the finish, okay?
I like it.
When you push from that instep, I'm going to rephrase this. When you push from that instep, I want that push to not just push this open. I want it to actually push your hands through as well.
Okay.
Use the ground. It's funny. I mean, you think it's just coming from right here with the hands. It's not. But use the ground to push your hands through.
Right.
Right? You can do that. There you go. There you go.
That was too slow.
What's nice about what we're teaching Shane right now with that hip staying back is that's what right there, when that hip rotates back, what did my spine angle do? Stay down, right?
down.
Exactly. And you know what's funny about it, dude? That's the only thing that changes when you take the real swing to the slow one. Do the slow one again. You just stay right in your posture and you rotate right around those fixed points. And it looks like you could do that every single time and control the heck out of it, right?
But see, that's a shot I need.
Yeah. Like you need that shot too.
The thing I really suck at is like taking 5 yards off a longer iron because my hips just and everything flips because I'm going slower, and it's a disaster.
Okay, we got you on that, bro. Let's fix that.
It's why I'm tragedy into the wind, but like insane downwind.
All right, that was your best swing of the day.
That one I kept the spine in.
You felt it, right?
I think that's the key then.
Tell me, what'd you say?
Do the same thing as the slow one, but just accelerate and keep the spine.
That would be ideal, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Just to kind of make sure you do the same thing as the slow one when you see the slow one work as well as it did.
Yeah.
So this is good. I mean, for our viewer too, and not just for our viewer, for you, Shane. Okay, ready? The viewer needs to see it though. Yeah, we're helping a lot more here than just you, brother. No, here we go. Your shoulders are the train track of your golf swing. So golf is played easier underneath you than it is around you, right? Now, underneath me, look at my path. Look at my club face. But the minute that this is decreased, right, and things happen, well, now the path doesn't stay the same, and the hand sure doesn't stay as square down the line as long, right? Golf around us looks like this. Golf underneath us looks like this. So really, when you think about it, it's about using your hips properly, turning them in a direction that I've always said, here's my belt line. This is the equator of my world here. I'm not gonna go this way or that way. I'm just gonna turn my hips right around that belt line, right? And that's what also keeps my spine down. Any other direction of that left pocket, if it travels towards a target, spine goes back and up. If it travels around, well, there, my spine stays down. So I think that is 100% your key, buddy. I think that's the key.
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa.
Dead straight.
How good was that game? I mean, there's nothing more frustrating than watching a gorgeous swing not get the result that swing should have, right? When you look at it. But here's the cool thing. There's always something in there. The viewer is going to look back at the video. They can even pull it back a little bit to the original swings, and they're going to be like, I didn't see the difference, but it's minimal. It's minimal. With these guys right here, it's just that feeling of keeping the chest down that might have changed 3 degrees of spine angle, but you know what? That was enough to change 3 degrees of club face. Without that speed, takes away 10 yards of left. Yeah, chest down, hips back. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I see it shifting his path more left.
Yes, he was right, because he's not getting that look. He's getting that look. It just crawls. I mean, watch my hand when it just stays connected to my body and the club's direction of the shaft, and I just pull this hip back. When I go like this any other way, without even moving my hand, the hand moves, right? And that's what happens in the golf swing. Number one lesson I learned at a young age, golf is always easier played underneath you than around you, right? So you set up accordingly, and then you set up those fixed points to be able to rotate around. And ideally, when the hands and club follow that proper path in the backswing like Shane's do, there's no reason why he has to manipulate it. So, a simple downswing thought can really, I love those drills for you, buddy. It's beautiful. I mean, his best hip action I've ever seen in my life. He's always been so natural. He's a hockey player, so he always used to flap shots and stuff would open up. Look at that.
Perfect.
That's the move right there. Just on the same track now every time. But I like that. I like that move for you right there, bud. Where you're just patient to the top. Just handle down as that hip stays back, staying on the inside of your foot. I think that in all we're really doing, if you went to the golf course today, it would be let your hips go, but keep your chest down.
Down, yeah.
You know, keep the hips back, chest down. When the hips stay back, the beautiful thing is the chest stays down. So you're probably going to feel the chest down as being the main difference. It's nice to see you go after it like that and see it stay that straight, you know?
Yeah.
Wow, that was gorgeous right there. Thank you guys so much for watching our video. Any questions or comments you have, please leave them below. Also, click the link below to pick up 3 free videos. We appreciate you guys. Enjoy our channel.